Hello everybody, welcome back to Be a Winner. This is my second part. This one is about breeding. Last episode was about breeding prep. This one's about breeding. Now we're actually getting into it. For this video, I'm going to be using these two as an example, Magikarp and Goldeen. I just thought Magikarp was fitting because in the last video I used Gyarados as an example. Now here you can see we have a female Magikarp and a male Goldeen. I quickly want to say, if you breed two Pokemon together, they need to be opposite genders, unless you're breeding with Ditto. Ditto is always an exception, but I'm going to be explaining all of this disregarding Ditto. Okay, that comes back later in the video. Right now, just forget Ditto exists. If you breed a male and female Pokemon, which is the only way you can get offspring, the female Pokemon will always be the one to have its species passed down. So in this case, a female Magikarp and a male Goldeen will create Magikarp babies. Now, as we can see here, Magikarp has 10 IVs in HP, 23 in attack, 31 in defense, 21 in attack, 8 in SPDEF, and 13 in speed. Meanwhile, the Goldeen has 7 in HP, 31 in attack, 25 in defense, 30 in special attack, 9 in special defense, and 28 in speed. The Magikarp has a bashful nature, the Goldeen has a sassy nature. Now, first thing, power items, they're back. I explained them a little bit in the previous video. In this video, it's the same explanation. They help transfer IVs of a certain stat down from parents to their offspring. So a power weight transfers the HP IV from a parent to an offspring. I'm just going to show you an example here. The Magikarp, as you can see, has 31 in defense. That's a max defense IV. And a Goldeen has 31 in attack, which is a max attack IV. What we would want to use here are the power bracer and the power belt. We want to give the Magikarp the power belt and Goldeen the power bracer because that means their offspring will have 31 in defense and 31 in attack. And as you can see, that is the case here. 31 attack, 31 in defense. Modest nature because there was no one holding an Everstone. We'll get into that in a bit. Nature is always random unless you have one of them holding an Everstone. Let's say this is a male Magikarp. And we have another female Magikarp with 31 in speed. Now here's where an Everstone comes in. The Everstone helps with transferring natures to the offspring. And as you can see, the female Magikarp has the nature Jolly. If we give this Magikarp the Everstone, all of their children will be Jolly. I also want to quickly say how breeding works here with IVs. If no Pokemon is holding an item that changes it, so the only item that we know right now that does is the Destiny Knot, the offspring will always share at least 3 IVs with the parents. Anything else that they share with their parents is completely coincidental, but offspring will share 3 IVs with their parents. As you can see here, these are some potential offspring for them to have. We can see here that the first Magikarp has 5 IVs in HP and 28 HP in special attack. These 2 IVs it got from its mother. Meanwhile, 28 IVs in speed, which it got from its father. These are the 3 IVs that it shares with its parents. The second one has the defense and speed IVs from its mother and the special defense IV from its father. And then the third one has the attack and defense IVs from its father and the speed IV from its mother. All of these are Jolly natures because the Magikarp with the Jolly nature, which is the mother, was holding the Everstone, which means that Jolly natures get passed down. Now that last Magikarp is probably our best bet because it has max attack, max defense, and max speed. We're already at 3 times 31. If we do that again, but for different stats, and we can get a second one, then we can start using a Destiny Knot, which, you know how I said earlier that offspring share 3 of their IVs with the parents? The Destiny Knot ups that number up to 5. So if we see here, it doesn't matter which parent holds it, by the way. In this case, I'm going to let the father hold it and the mother hold the Everstone. Both of them are Jolly. It doesn't really matter in this case who holds what. If we repeat that process again, get a second Magikarp that's female, this time with 31 in HP, 31 in attack, 31 in special defense, and we give the father the Destiny Knot, we can get offspring like this, which have the HP IV of the mother, the attack IV of the mother or father. we don't know which one, but if you are breeding two Pokemon that have a specific IV inside of a stat, and they both have the same IV in that stat, the odds of your offspring having that IV in that stat is 5 and 6. So the odds of this Magikarp having 31 in attack is 5 and 6. The only way that it wouldn't have 31 in attack is if the random IV dropped on attack. That's 31 in defense, 29 in special attack, 31 in special defense, 31 in speed. Its special attack doesn't matter anyways. This is a perfect Magikarp. Now, what can we do with this Magikarp? Let's say it's male, right? We can actually breed other things from its same egg group in order to get better things from, in this case, we have a timid Jangmo-O, which we likely would have gotten with the synchronized Pokemon. Check out the previous video if you want more information on that. But regardless, a timid Jangmo-O, so we give that the Everstone because we want to keep that timid ability for clanging scales. And we give the Magikarp that we already have, the Destiny Knot. You can see that this is potential offspring already at a 2 times 31. Now, if this is female, we can swap this out with the one that's in the daycare so that the odds of it getting even more max IVs are even higher. Now let's get into how you can have a Pokemon from every single egg group so that you can get basically any Pokemon you want perfect. Again, it's a lot easier with Ditto, and it's going to take a lot of time, but if you want to get good IV Pokemon easily for the long run, this is definitely this is good to do. Now, what you want to do, right? There are two Pokemon. Well, there are multiple, but the two easiest ones that are confirmed 3 times 31 are Riolu and Togepi. Riolu you find on Route 8. Togepi you find inside the Laguna Trenches as a fossilized egg, then you revive it and then you hatch it. However, you do have to evolve them so that they can actually breed because baby Pokemon cannot breed. Riolu and Togepi are both baby Pokemon. Now, you want to get two of these, a male and a female, of both Togepi and Riolu, and then evolve them to Lucario and Togetic. And you want to keep breeding them down until you have a good 5 times 31, maybe 6 times 31 Lucario or Togetic. Then, you want to find every single one of these Pokemon as a female. Here are their locations. Ekans is in the Radiant Ruins. Magikarp you can find basically fishing anywhere with an old rod. Rhyhorn's on Route 6. Wooper's on Route 7. Shellos is on Rose Cove Beach in the grass. Cacnea is on Route 11. Snorn is on Route 15. Dwebble is Rock Smash basically anywhere. Not even basically anywhere. Rock Smash anywhere. And Archon is inside of Laguna Trenches as a plume fossil, which you have to recover for an Archon. Make sure you get one of these as female. Archon has, I'm pretty sure, higher odds to be male, so you might have to try that one multiple times. Don't at me on that, but I think. But you could soft reset that. Okay. Now, if you breed that really good Lucario with that female Ekans, and you every single time you get an Ekans, another female Ekans that's better than the one you have in the daycare, you can swap it out and keep it going until you get like a 5 times 6 times 31 male Ekans. Lucario and Ekans are able to breed because they are both in the field egg group. Lucario is inside of the field and human-like egg group. Meanwhile, Ekans is inside of the field and dragon egg group. So if you get a good male Ekans that's in the dragon egg group, you can breed it with a female Magikarp, which is in the dragon and water 2 egg group. And then you keep doing that, same thing as you did with the Ekans, swap out the female when it's better, and then you can eventually get a Magikarp, a good male Magikarp that is also in the water 2 egg group, so that you can breed anything in the future that's in the egg group of water 2. You can just breed those later on down the line, and you can get PvP Pokemon of anything in that egg group. That's the first chain done. Next up is a male Lucario with the female Rhyhorn. Same thing. Once you get a good male Rhyhorn, you will have access to field and monster egg groups. So then you can, in the future, you can breed better monster egg group Pokemon. Next is Lucario with Wooper, both in the field egg group, but Wooper is inside of water 1. Same thing until you get a good male Wooper, and then you can breed it with Shellos, which is inside of Water 1 and inside of Amorphous, which is also stuff like Grimer, uh, Gardevoir, which means you can get PvP versions of those Pokemon later down the line as well once you get a good male Shellos. That's another chain done. Then after that is Lucario with Cacnea. They can breed because they're both in the human-like egg group. However, Cacnea is also in the grass egg group. So if you get a good male grass Agnia, a good male Cacnea, you can breed better stuff that's inside of the grass egg group later on. Though that's it for the Lucario chains. Next are the Togetic chains. First, Togetic with Snorunt, with the female Snorunt until you get a male Snorunt. Snorunt is inside of the ice, not ice, fairy and bug. No, fairy and mineral egg groups. And then you breed the male Snorunt with the female Dwebble until you get a good male Dwebble, which is in the mineral and bug egg groups. And then there's Togetic with Archon, which are both inside of the flying egg group until you get a good male Archon, which is inside of the flying and water 3 egg groups. I don't know why it's in the water 3 egg group. I had to look it up really quickly. That's why you probably noticed the cut there. Because I did not remember what egg group it was in. Water 3. I don't know why, but it's in water 3, so we're going to use it. Or you can skip all of that by using golden bottle cap on a Ditto. Golden bottle caps are found inside of the Iciclia BP shop. However, that's BP, which means you need BP, which means you need to win battles, or you can get enough via codes. I would definitely recommend saving up BP so that you can get a golden bottle cap so that you can eventually have a Ditto. It's a lot easier. You have to swap out a lot less in the daycare, and you don't have to go through all of this. Again, a quick one say helpful websites: Bulbapedia, Cerebi, Pokemon Database, Pokemon Blue Bronze Wiki, Smogon, the Distortion Discord server. Join it, please. We want 3,000 members. Maryland and Showdown. I hope this video was comprehensible. It was a bit of a mess to film. I had to re-film this like 4 times, but I hope what came out was something at least a little bit legible. Yeah. If I missed anything, let me know in the comments below. After my whole series is done, I'll be going over some things that I might have missed. Thank you. Goodbye.